Hi everyone, our topic today is still on spooky horses, and today I'm going to talk about things that our horses can physically feel and be scared of. And this also spread into three areas, but there is the main two, of course, like everything else, old and new. So things that they have memorized in the past as old feeling. Whenever I feel that, I have to protect myself against it. And if nobody did the work to change it, so let's say your horse is sensitive to be touched under his belly, on his back end, or to be touched around the neck, the ears, the legs, the tail, anything that's touched them in particular area, we have to keep practicing and rubbing this area until the horse is confident about it. Now, to change these old memory about something they felt on their body, all we need to do is figure out what they are, where is the area he's sensitive and he doesn't like to be touched, and work on it slowly until you help your horse to overcome this fearful feeling that he physically feel on his body. A lot of horses very scared around the legs. A lot of horses very scared to be touched on the top of the body, actually, the area of the ears, etc. So every single spot on your horse should be touched in as many different materials possible, with your hands, with your stick, with your riding whip, when you're riding with your heels, with your spurs, if you ride with your spurs, just as a rub, not as an aid, with everything, with every single material possible, with plastic bags on the ground, with flags. Every material has a memory. Every different material has a memory in those horses' brain. And the more you touch your horse with different material, the better chance you have to have a better confident horse on the environment if something suddenly touch your horse without you even planning. Let's say you're riding outside and you're hiking, and suddenly you passed a tree and this tree touched your horse slightly somewhere, and this material felt different. So if you have been practicing touching your horse with all sorts of different material, you have a much better chance to overcome this fear, and actually your horse maybe not react at all because he's used to be touched with different material. It's fine, it's not a big deal. He used to be touched ridden and not just ground, which that make a difference as well. So after you cover all the areas possible, all different materials possible on the ground, you should do it while you're on top as well, with whatever possible, keeping yourself safe though. So when something new touch our horses that he never experienced before, they can either learn to ignore it or be scared of it. And that's again to do with what I mentioned earlier. It can be a different material, it can be a new area that's he never been touched with that particular material. So you maybe touched your horse with a plastic bag, but you didn't touch him on his back legs, an example. And suddenly this plastic bag touching this horse on his back legs, and he extremely got scared of it. I'm just trying to give an example for your understanding that every single spot in your horse is important, and the type of material, and I will move from that to the third area of why our horses can be scared of something they suddenly touch them. And this area called an unexpected, so it's bad timing, let's call it. So your horse was scared about something else that they have seen. They used to your aids of asking them to move forward. They used to your whip. They used to your spurs. They used to whatever material you touch your horse with. But because your horse already on the question mark mode, what we have mentioned on the first video, suddenly when you asked your horse to move forward, but he's concerned about something already, and you touched him with your legs, it's like he never been touched before in his life. Your horse can explode, and I have seen horses started bucking and rearing and doing things, throwing themselves on the ground just because somebody said move forward, or by mistake the whip touched them, even if the rider hasn't asked, just because the horse spooked and went backwards. While he's going backwards, the whip touched them and the horses really got worried about it. So it's a bad timing with touching your horse. This particular area, you can't really do much about it, but you can do much about what make your horse go into question mark mode. But we can work a lot more on those areas that we know that cause our horses to be scared. Anything they see, hear or physically feel, anything can turn our horses into a question mode, such as herd instinct, home instinct, all the things we have been mentioning in the last 3 videos. I hope this video helped you, and I will see you in my next one.